Gone. Well met, lords and ladies, and welcome to the Throne Room. This is episode 8 of the podcast that may forever change your fealty. I'm your host, David Klingel, and I'm joined by another noble game-playing aficionado, Anre Borges Brown.
Hello, everyone.
Touchdown! Because he likes sports, Ken. And today, we are joined by a very, very special guest, Ken Doughman, host of the Blathering Blatherskites podcast. Welcome, Ken. We are so glad to have you here today.
Thank you, guys. Yep, that's me. Ken, or Nintendo is my handle is on like every platform. So, yeah, really happy to be here, guys. Thanks for having me join you.
And what a clever name, Nintendo, right?
Very clever.
That's awesome, because his name's Ken Doughman, and it's like Nintendo, but it's Nintendo. Man, I think it's brilliant, bloody brilliant.
You know what it is, David?
What is it?
It's one of your favorite. It's one of your favorite things. It's simple and clean.
I love it. Excellent. It is simple and it is clean. Well, that being said, what's simple and clean for you this week, Anre? What's new? What are you playing?
Firstly, big shout out to the Sixers for winning Game 1 of the first round of playoffs.
Okay.
What am I playing? Well, I beat Returnal.
Okay.
Very excited about that.
Cool.
Took probably about 30 hours for me to beat it. Very interesting game. I had a very interesting time with the last because I didn't think I was going to beat it when I beat it. When you're playing Returnal, because of the way the saves work, you have to kind of set an hour or two away to play Returnal, because you don't want to stop in the middle or you have to just leave and hope your game stays on for whatever a day while you're at work or something. So it was getting kind of late and I was like, all right, I'm having a very good run here. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I really just want to die, because there are some persistent items and things that I've got. There's some weapon proficiencies that I've got. So you can't just turn it off because it's like, you're done. Like, because you do get things, right? So I was like, man, I just can't wait to die. But I'd grown so powerful, Ken and David, that I couldn't die. I was so good, and it was such a good run, such very good weapon. And I just kept going for hours and hours, and it's like 3:30. I'm like, oh man, I want to die. I found a boss.
Oh, you found
in a new level. I got to a new level, went to a new boss. I actually did like the last 2 state biomes or whatever at the same day, and I beat the boss first time, and then as it turned out, that was the last boss.
Wow. You never know till you know, right? Okay. So now this was your first time beating it, right? Because Returnal is a game, from my understanding, typical roguelike, such like Hades and whatnot, where you get the true ending after beating multiple times, right?
So it's not beating it multiple times. What you need to do to get the true ending is gather some materials, with some items scattered across the different biomes. The materials appearance is random. I haven't seen it.
I see.
I know the name of it. I haven't seen it yet.
So you don't necessarily have to beat a run to find these materials to get further along in the story, right?
Actually, that would be easier if I just had to beat the game again. But I'll probably be going through these biomes if that's something I'm going to do, like for
multiple times.
30, 40 hours.
Now, is that a problem for you? Are you enjoying it though? Like, are you okay with that? Like,
it's so fun. It's such a fun game. It's at this point after you've beaten the game, right? It really it's just like House Mark's old games. You're trying to get the high score. You're trying to do better, Resurrect. You're trying to get the high score. You're trying to do better runs and get your weapon proficiencies up and unlock all kinds of artifacts and all that to make stuff easier. And it is fun. Like, just the moment to moment gameplay is very fun. So I am looking forward to going back.
Ken, is this a game that you're interested in at all?
Sure, and it's something I'm like, do I want to pay full price for this game? Because it's like, I have a PS5, just got one. I've been mostly playing PS4 games on it, and I'm like, when's the next, big game that I want to spend, some real money on. And I knew about how long your time investment is. Like, you can't just do a 5-10 minute session.
You can't
so
say
that. Yeah. You're right. Okay. So that makes me a little hesitant, but
I mean, you can if you're bad.
you just want to
die. Some 5 to 10 minute sessions.
Yeah. Right. I kind of feel like that's a game that you might see on PlayStation Plus at some point too. I just kind of get that feeling. It feels like a game that's going to hit that
eventually. I will say eventually.
Right.
I'm going to want it before that. But there's a running joke right now, Ken. I cannot get a PS5 to save my life, man.
You're not alone.
It's at the worst time, too, because my PS4 Pro crapped out. Which is funny because I gave my regular PS4 to my brother. It's still alive and well. The new PS4 Pro I bought, it just for some reason wanted to live 2/3 less of the time than my regular PlayStation. But anyway, I'm not gonna buy a new PlayStation 4 or another PlayStation 4 right now, right? If I get another PlayStation, it's gonna be a 5.
The candle burns bright as twice as bright, but lasts half as long. That's your PS4 Pro. Right. It's very, very powerful and new for half as long.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting a PS5, and Returnal. I'm all about Dark Souls and whatnot as well. So Demon Souls, I would have got that day one. Returnal sounds up my alley, but we'll never know. I'll never play it because I'll never have a PS5. It's never gonna happen. I'm gonna be the one person on Earth that never gets a PS5. Anyway, Ken, what's new with you this week? What are you playing?
What am I playing? You're gonna find this out about me. I'm a little bit addicted to Destiny. Well, Destiny
a little
2.
bit? Okay, that's fine.
A little bit. I've just been into that game since the beta of the first one. I've just stuck with it. They have Season of the Splicer just came out like last week. This weekend
Vault
they brought back the raid. Vault of Glass came back. I didn't get a chance to do a run for it this weekend because I knew everybody was going to be in there, and I'm not trying to be world's first or anything. So I'll check the subreddit this week and see if I can get a group together and maybe do that raid here soon. But to me, that's the most fun content in those games. Destiny, the raids are awesome.
I played quite a bit of Destiny myself. I haven't played in a while. But I do like those type of games, and honestly, Destiny's the one that's doing it the best and has been doing it the best right now. I mean, Outriders, it was fun. It was a brief flame like my PS4 Pro. But still, it's still fun. And, Anthem was one I wanted to love. I don't know if you played Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to love that game so bad.
I tried.
And I did, and we did. And then
we beat the game. Me and David, we played some of the hard stuff. We went on these runs.
We beat the end game content. What little of it you can call end game content. So that was
after a while. Yeah, after a while, it was just like
But Destiny is the one they're still doing it. It's still a great game. So if you like that style, and that's definitely those are all similar styles of the same game.
Yeah, like Division. I love the Division. I played through the first one and the second one. Did all the stuff you could do, like you said. I did all the main content, and there was an expansion after that, like something about New York or something. I didn't get into that one, but I really love that game. Like Division, like if somebody I know was wanting to play it, I'd jump in there in a second.
Hey, we'd have you, bro, because we started playing too, and we would be playing it more right now if I had a conduit to extend its prowess to me, but we do not right now. So hey, when that happens, when I get my 5, if you've got Division 2, we could get all in that. That'd be fun. So
yeah, absolutely.
The Division 2 was kind of strange because we stopped playing it, but not because we didn't like it. I think it was like other games, and then eventually, like you said, David's PS4 died. But the Division 2 was the Division was great. We played the hell out of that.
Yeah,
and
same.
The Division 2 was more Division, but better.
Yeah. Fleshed out.
Really enjoyed it, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what Bungie does, what their secret sauce is, but it's one I can't seem to ever get away from. Because they'll bring out the new season, I'm like, oh, I want to check out that new gun. I gotta get back in there. Got to do it, and get drawn right back into it. Like this week is that they do Iron Banner, That's like their PvP tournament kind of thing. And yeah, I've been hitting that kind of hard this week.
Nice.
Trying to get some of the new stuff. Also on my PS5, I've been going back through Ratchet and Clank, the remake of the first one. They released a patch for PS5 that upped the frame rate, so it looks super smooth, like butter smooth. It's the best version of that game you can get. And I'm still impressed at this game that's like so old. I mean, it was originally a PS2 game. And yeah, they remade it. But a lot of the mechanics of it still work. The weapons are still awesome, like super fun. So yeah, I'm wanting to hopefully get through that before Rift Apart comes out next month. So that's the plan. Definitely going to be getting Rift Apart. Should be day one for me. Everything about the game.
Me too, Ken. I'm going to get Ratchet and Clank to Rift Apart day one as well, man.
You probably will finish Ratchet and Clank 2016 before Rift Apart comes out.
Yeah,
I platinumed that game. The fun thing is, like, I never actually played a Ratchet and Clank before that one, so everything was new to me. And man, just the guns, the gameplay, the gunplay, everything was just super fun. The graphics were amazing, and everything was fluid. And I haven't even played it in 60 frames per second. Interesting tangent, if I may. I was reading on Reddit about this guy had this great long post that I don't have it in front of me, but basically his point was that, a lot of these games for PS4 that have 60 frames per second modes are great because they don't sacrifice anything. So basically it's the same lighting, the same graphics, the same resolution. And because the PS5 has significantly more power than a PS4, and they're not actually going in and making they're just like upping the frames. But his assertion was a lot of people think they're going to play Ratchet and Clank 60 frames per second. And he looked at all the trailers, and in his mind, the lighting, the scale, the resolution, the ray tracing, everything, the power of the PS5, we're early in the generation, not all of it, but the power of the PS5.
Power of having a PS5
is definitely being leveraged when it comes to Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And he was saying that I think 30 frames per second might be the best way to play it, because 60 frames, you lose some of that other stuff,
Yeah.
And so I think when you look at it at that angle, I think that it is interesting. If it's anything like Miles Morales, it'll be very quick to change it and go from one to the other. So it's
from
very
30
interesting.
to 60, right?
Yeah, 30 to 60, yeah. Resolution mode to performance mode. Hopefully they have like a 60 frames ray tracing mode. They came out with Miles Morales after a few months after the launch. But yeah, it's very interesting because I know a lot of people are hopping on the 60 frames train, but if you can get other stuff with 30, and if not, then there's no reason to have 30. Then I think it's worth trying both.
Oh yeah.
If it's that quick to change it, there's no reason to see which one works for you best, right? So if that's the way they can make it, that's fine. Either way, I think they're going to make Rift Apart day one play the way they want it to, no matter how many frames it has. So either way, regardless, I'm looking forward to a Rift Apart. Going to be a fantastic game. Lately, guys, I've been playing. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a Subnautica fan. And Below Zero had its launch for, it's been in early access for a while, for a long time. And they finally launched, I think it was last week, the 15th or so, the full game launched on Steam. I've already beaten it. It was amazing. I was addicted yet again to Below Zero as I was the first game. And, a lot of people have said, hey, it lost some of its whatever, because if you've already played Subnautica, you know what to expect from a sequel. True. Doesn't matter to me. I loved it. It was more Subnautica. It was fantastic. So if you're a Subnautica fan, if you like the first one, it's more. It's good. So I really enjoyed it. Check it out. And then also Doom Eternal finally was on sale, and it's forever because that game's been $60. I had it on my PS5. PS4. I'm having a heart attack before I get a PS5. I had it on my PS4, and I wasn't gonna buy it again at full price, right? So I've been waiting for it to come on PC for a cheaper price again, and yeah, it was $20, so I picked it up and I've been playing some Doom Eternal. And we talked about how much I loved Doom 2016 and thought it was a great callback to the originals. And Doom Eternal is no exception. It is more Doom. It's fantastic. So loving it. That being said, Ken, we have to know, how does your gaming story begin, man? We want to know where you came from and why you're here now.
Oh man, yeah, it's like where to start. It's like, well, I was born a poor child in South Carolina.
You too.
The old
Okay.
Started early, man. My best bud down the street, Billy, he had an Atari. I think a 2600. I don't know. I was like 3. So
name dropping.
But he had Centipede, and that was the first game I ever played. Wow. And I was like little kid, like barely able to, control the thing, but I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. But of course, my parents were like, no way, we're buying you an Atari. That's like a few $100. Then a few years later, we were at like the Christmas party at my dad's work, and the kid there had Super Mario Brothers, and like everybody, all the kids were just gathered around it in their basement, like watching Super Mario Brothers, and it blew my mind. I was like, this is amazing. It's like, I've got to have this. So my brother and I, we like saved up our money, like saved our pennies, man. My brother was like selling worms to the neighbor kids for the quarter, trying to make money so we could afford a Nintendo. Wow. And
did they fish in your area? Was fishing popular, or they just thought worms were cool?
He marketed them as a pet. He's like, buy my pet worm, and he put them in a little tank with some dirt, and he's like, the kids would buy it from him because then he said it was a pet.
That's awesome.
Better than a pet rock, I guess. Like after a few weeks, we had saved up enough money. I don't know how we did it. Like we broke open the piggy banks because my parents were not going to buy it for us. We had to earn it, and we got the regular Nintendo, the NES with the Power Pad and Duck Hunt, like all those in one, and that was just amazing. Like we loved the hell out of that system. Then of course, a few years later, the Super Nintendo came out. And we like sold all of our Nintendo stuff to buy the Super Nintendo, and it's like all of our games, everything. I'm like, I was an idiot, but I was like 9, so whatever. Got the Super Nintendo.
And, I was gonna say, how many worms does a Super Nintendo cost?
Yeah, like 1,000.
I want to know. What's the worm exchange rate on that bad boy?
Yeah. I wonder how many. Wait, GameStop, man. I wonder how many worms they'll give me for for my destroyed PS4. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah,
we rented one first. We couldn't just go out and buy it, and it only had Super Mario World, and that was enough. I was hooked. I was like, we got to get this game.
You can only get one game, man.
Yeah,
that one.
Oh, it was a great game. To this day, A Link to the Past is probably in my top 5, maybe my favorite game of all time. That was on Super Nintendo, so love that, and it was staying down that Nintendo lane for quite a while. I got a 64, GameCube. Got kind of late in the GameCube. That's like one I didn't get at launch or anything.
I love my Cube,
and
man.
GameCube had some great games on it. Didn't get into PlayStation until the PS2, and I bought it as a DVD player because I was in college at the time and I needed a DVD player. So I was like, hey, this way I can play all the PS1, PS2 games and have a DVD player. And then I got a job at Blockbuster Video, and then I could have unlimited games because you're in Florida, you could rent like 5 games a week, and I had to rent movies too. It was mainly games, so played the heck out of that stuff.
That's
I
awesome.
just was determined I wanted to do like something in the game industry. Like when I grew up, that's what I was gonna do. I like majored in graphic design. Was looking at that. I actually went to IGN. I convinced my parents, like, we're going on a California vacation, and I was like, their office is in San Francisco. I was like, we figured out. I call up Matt Casamacia, who is the Nintendo editor at IGN. I called him up, and I asked to talk to him, and I got through. I was like, hey, we're going to be there. Can we do a tour of IGN?
Wow.
I was like, sure, why not? So they invited me to do a tour, so when we went out to California, they let us into the IGN office. They were awesome. I met Pierre Schneider, who's the founder of IGN, some of the other guys there at the time. And this is a long time ago. So,
wow.
But it was a great experience. they actually offered me an internship there, and I like to this day I'm like, wow, did I mess up by not taking it? But it did not pay a lot, and living in San Francisco, I found out it's very expensive. I would have been like sleeping on somebody's couch for probably a few years, and I was still in school at the time, so I didn't do that. Kind of took another path. A few years after that, though, I went to E3, E3 2004, I believe. Kind of snuck in there because I was still working at Blockbuster. That was considered a media company, so I just filled out my application. And I'm like, I'm going to get into E3, and I swear to God, I was like, this isn't going to happen. There's no way. They mailed me a badge. Like, in the mail, you get your, like, this is your entrance to E3. So that was incredible. And I just got a plane ticket, figured out where to stay in LA. And my brother and I went. My brother did not have a pass. So our little scam, I went in. And then I went back out and I said, "Oh, I lost my badge holder. Can you give me another badge holder?" So we got him a badge holder that had no badge in it, and he just like walked right behind me, so he looked like he was with me.
That's awesome.
Under the show floor, that was an amazing experience. I got to meet Gabe Newell very briefly. He gave me a T-shirt. It was right when Half-Life 2 was coming out, so that was like the biggest thing in the world to me at the time. So that was my experience at E3. After that, I had kind of...
Did you ask any questions? Ken Doughman, Blockbuster. Real quick, the trailer you just shown, how much is that in-game footage?
Right. Is that real? Yeah. But Half-Life 2, I don't know if it actually had come out or it was right around that time. Like before it came out or right after. But yeah, that was very cool. After that, I went from Blockbuster to the other big company that starts with BB. I went to Best Buy. I worked in the geek squad at Best Buy as one of the geeks. So also gave me a lot of access to games because I was able to. They had these programs for people that worked in the retail industry where you could get games super cheap. Or Microsoft, I think some of them were free. Like all you had to do was like do these quizzes and stuff. So I had another source to feed the game addiction. So to do that, was still getting.
I've been paying for video.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Meanwhile, I'm racking up a bill. Yeah.
Suckers game. Yeah, you just get a part-time job at Best Buy. It'll be good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was cool. I had PS3 and Xbox 360 at the time, so I had a way to get like a lot of the newest games there and stay with it. After that, we moved to a place that did not have good internet, like not at all. So my online gaming kind of took a backseat for quite a few years, and I was kind of newly married at the time. Didn't really play games for quite a few years until probably when like the first Destiny came out. I started getting back into games. Started a job with a lot of other guys that are into gaming. So since then, been getting back into it. And yeah, just recently got a PS5 and been, sorry for salt in the wound.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Hey, it happens quite often.
Yeah. Got lucky, got one. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now.
I just wake up. I wake up every morning and I open my eyes and I go, I don't have a PS5. It's every day. It's every day. So it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. It's all right. We'll get there.
It'll happen. So that's the kind of short and dirty of it. A lot of other things along the way, but yeah, there's some of the highlights of my journey. Sticking with doing video games and. It's just been a kind of passion of mine. I try to stay up with the newest stuff. I probably read more about them than I spend playing them.
Sometimes you have to, especially with kids,
Yep, absolutely, yeah. But my son, he's kind of getting the age where he can start playing stuff, so that's been really fun. Introducing stuff to him. 8, yeah.
Man, God, I got 6 years to go, man.
Yeah.
This is not good news, Ken.
Playing stuff, like where you can actually play stuff with him, and he can like contribute and help you.
Gotcha, yeah.
You play stuff at 5 and 6, but it was more like you're sitting there with the controller and you're just like, oh man, just let me do it. No, he's got to do it on his own. And once they get to 7, 8, then you can do some co-op stuff, and it gets a little more fun, I guess.
I was pretty good at 6, 7, 8. I really was,
Yeah.
So I think that's a good time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm hoping maybe 3, 4 he starts maybe playing Mario on his own. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Yeah.
We can try.
Start.
Well, Ken, thanks for sharing your story.
Yeah.
Man, that's some funny stuff. Man, that's one for the books, man. Blockbuster.
To the Best Buy.
Oh man, that's cool.
Filling out quizzes for free games.
Yeah.
Man, Anre, we should have wrote E3.
Yeah.
Been like Baytown employees. We tell a lot of people vacation here. We'll tell them how good all the stuff is. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty awesome. Blockbuster. Wow.
Pretty.
I miss Blockbuster, man. I miss Blockbuster.
I miss the hell of that place. I just watched this documentary on Netflix that's about the last Blockbuster. You look it up, and that was hitting some serious nostalgia. We were watching that the other night. I was like, man, I do miss that place.
It was on Netflix?
Yeah.
I have to watch
just came out on there.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, well, now I wanted to talk about the theme of the episode, guys. Now that next generation is upon us, I thought it'd be a good time for us to reflect on old intellectual properties that we haven't seen in a very long time, that we would love to see return with a bang and get the next gen console love that it so deserves. And Ken, is it too soon to say Metroid?
Metroid. You know Metroid's coming. So
No. That's why I say is it too soon, because they keep saying it's coming, Ken. They keep saying it. I haven't seen it yet.
Nintendo says a lot of things.
We started it once or twice now, so yeah, we'll get it this decade.
I think they'll get it this time. Third time's charm.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. So
Switch 2.
Yeah.
Switch 2. Yeah. All right. Well, I thought I'd start. I'll start with one. We'll go in a round robin. Anre will go next. Then Ken, you give us one, and we'll just keep going.
Cool.
And then if nobody else has any more, then just I'll rattle off real quick what I have left, or vice versa. Okay. So, F-Zero. I would love an F-Zero game. Haven't seen F-Zero in a long time. I think you could do some really cool stuff with F-Zero on the Switch Pro, whatever console's coming out for it. What do you think? Ken, you're the Nintendo guy here.
Yeah. Oh, it's well overdue. F-Zero, that's an interesting franchise because it's something that Nintendo started with the Super Nintendo. Was one of their really big, flagship kind of titles. Then it just went kind of dormant. Then they had this weird, a GameCube version. Then they went to the arcade, and they kind of outsourced it. I think Sega was working on one version, or it had a really weird journey. And it's well overdue. I mean, it's a great franchise. It's got cool characters and cars, and there's a lot of stuff they could do with the new technology. Bring it back.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
I'd be all over that.
And those songs, man, Big Blue. Man, those songs are fire.
I don't think you've ever
played a Nintendo game in your life, Anre, let alone F-Zero, so that's okay. Anre, why is your choice about to be a Nintendo game? Tell me. It's not. Okay, what you got?
You could bring one. You bring Mario back. He hasn't been around in a while, right? No, I played some Nintendo games, but I'm going to start off with Colony Wars. Okay. An old PlayStation 1 game. They had 3 games: Colony Wars Vengeance, and then another one. But yeah, it's a space combat game. I think Sony published it. They might have developed it. It could be one of these 25 plus new titles that they were talking about, or 22 or whatever they said.
Could be.
So I'm not saying it's likely, but those were fun games, and they were fun back in the day when we just had PlayStation 1 technology. They did a very good job of really space combat back then, and they could do an amazing job now. Definitely. And I think it's just it's time, man. Bring Colony Wars back.
You heard the man. Bring it back. What about you, Ken? What's yours? What's your
my first choice? Not a Nintendo game. Dino Crisis.
It's on my
original
list.
PlayStation. It's so overdue. It was like in the Resident Evil time period, and I think used the same engine as Resident Evil. Very similar style game, but with dinosaurs. And
the game is Resident Evil with dinosaurs, yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
And they've given Resident Evil a ton of love. Like, they keep making them. The newest one, it's still good, but yeah, where's Dino Crisis? I think they could bring that back in a big way. And yeah, I think
who made Dino Crisis? Do you remember?
Capcom, I believe.
Was it Capcom? Yeah.
Yes, Capcom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, Capcom.
Yeah, what's up? Everybody's clamoring for it too, especially all
this Resident Evil love.
Especially all the time I was playing with 8. You know, I was looking at the Reddit after I beat 8 and seeing what people were saying and whatnot. And everyone's clamoring for a Dino Crisis game. They really are. They want it. Yeah. And I don't blame them because I want it too. Dino Crisis was fantastic. I'd love to see it. That's a good one.
They should use Dino Crisis to give Resident Evil some time to breathe.
Some breathing room.
Yeah.
I don't think they're not trying to give Resident Evil some breathing room. I think they're like, okay, now we just really have to remake all of these, so let's just get it over with. Let's get it done. We're almost done with them.
That's a good point. The Resident Evil remakes are actually what makes the new Resident Evil games time to breathe. They actually inject those in between.
Yep.
You're getting Resi overload.
So, but I think also Dino Crisis would help with that too. And I think they'll get back to it. I think they'll get back to Dino Crisis. But I would rather... And they could do a remake. That's fine. And I'd enjoy that because it's been so long. I really don't remember it anyway. But I would love to see just a new installment, a new Dino Crisis. And that would be awesome. So that one was on my list as well, Ken. By the way, my list is in no particular order. So don't think F-Zero was my number one. It was a good one, but not the best one. Because if it was number one for me... it wouldn't be this next one, but this next one would be close for number one, and it is Banjo-Kazooie. Now, I loved Banjo-Kazooie so much. Banjo-Tooie. Now, this game was on N64. I don't think it was a Rare game, so that would probably go to Xbox now, I guess, right? Because they own Rare.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would love another Banjo-Kazooie game. That game was, man, comedy gold. The aesthetic was fun. It was just a great, great game. What do you guys think? Have you guys heard of this, played this, know anything about this?
I played through both of them. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're pretty meaty games, too. There's a lot to them, a lot of stuff to collect. I mean, I feel like you got your money's worth out of those. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just a ton of stuff to do. And I'm kind of a platform guy. Like, I love platformers. So, yeah, that was my jam. I'd be up for that.
Banjo 3, bring it.
Yeah.
It's Tooie. So Banjo-Kazooie was number one, and then they came out with Banjo-Tooie.
And then this would be Banjo 3.
It was a bad joke, I know. So you don't have to bring it up again, okay?
I think they would call it Banjo 3.
They knew what was good for them.
See, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to make it. Now,
they made this game. Sorry, go ahead.
Microsoft owns Rare, and Rare is a shell of what it was, unfortunately now. And I just don't think the team there now is capable of making a Banjo. I honestly don't think you want to see the monstrosity
that would happen if they tried. Well, they did, I guess. There was a game that came out not too long ago, and it was what they called a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, and it was called Yooka-Laylee. And I have not played Yooka-Laylee. Have you, Ken?
That was a Kickstarter, yeah.
I played Yooka-Laylee. It does feel very similar to the Banjo-Kazooie. Like, it has kind of the same sound design, the art direction. It's very much in line with that. The kind of where you have like the main character and his buddy, that kind of thing going. As you unlock powers, it's similar progression of Banjo-Kazooie. It's a good game. I don't feel like it's... I think it would be great if it would have come out during the 64 era. But coming out now, it feels dated. It feels like, they needed to do something else, I think, to make a big splash with it. But it's solid.
There's a lot of heart and soul in Banjo-Kazooie that's hard to explain unless you've really played it. Just some of the environments that you can go to, and you're like, man, I remember this one part where I went into the submarine and I didn't think I'd even be able to, which then ended up going into like a water demon's mouth or something. I can't remember. There's some crazy shit that goes on in Banjo-Kazooie, and it was just awesome. So I would love to see a Banjo 3. Like you said, though, Anre, I think you put it right. it's probably never going to happen. The people that made Banjo-Kazooie were obviously had some very special minds that worked for Rare at the time, and they're probably never going to attempt to work on a game like this again, unfortunately. So, unless some people are like you, me, Ken here, huge fans of Banjo-Kazooie growing up, and they got into making games, and they're like, we only did this so we could make Banjo 3, which I doubt is ever going to happen, then we'll probably never see it. But I digress. Moving on. Anre, what you got, man?
I'm going to go a little off the board here. You got to stick with me, all right?
I'm sticking with you, man.
Stick with me.
You're already losing me, though.
Now I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, this game comes out, once every 3 years. They just put out a game." Street Fighter, right? But not Street Fighter normal, right? I know we're on 5 or 6 or whatever. Street Fighter Alpha. Bring the
Alpha
Street
4?
Fighter Alpha series back. Make Street Fighter Alpha 4.
I'm assuming Alpha 4 because you always say Alpha 3, right? Okay.
Street Fighter Alpha 3 is the greatest fighting game of all time.
Okay.
It is sprite based. It is still remarkably playable. You could really just put Street Fighter Alpha 3 on, PS5 and I just buy it again, even though I just bought the collection, and it has it. But yeah, make Street Fighter Alpha 4, with this.
No, what's the difference? What is Alpha? What is the difference between? Why do you want an Alpha game? Is there something?
There's like Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter EX, and then the baseline Street Fighter. The Street Fighter games now are 3D models, and it's still a great fighting game. I love it. I play it. I like it.
So you're saying bring back pixel art?
It's a little slower. It's a little, it's just not as quick and fast paced as the Alpha series was. When they moved to 3D models, they got slower, almost as a necessity.
Well, I have a question for you real quick, because now we have been playing, we both love Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't know if you've played this game yet, Ken, if you're a fighting game person or a Dragon Ball person. It's fun. Now, that being said, is Dragon Ball FighterZ not similar to Alpha 3? Like, similar? Do you feel like I would feel it would be similar. It reminds me of that style of game.
So, yeah.
Now,
obviously there's some differences, right, with the powers and the abilities and all that, but it is a quicker fighting game.
Now, that being said, though, I feel like Dragon Ball FighterZ uses 3D models. It doesn't look 2D to me. I believe they're 3D models, and they've animated them in such a way that it looks like it's 2D. But then they're using them still when they're doing the animations. I'd be interested to know. I think they use 3D models in Dragon Ball FighterZ, even though it doesn't look like it.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah.
So do you think
the sprites on Alpha 3 are just like
phenomenal,
amazing in my opinion?
Could they not do a similar art style though? Do you think as Dragon Ball Fighters and FighterZ and make it work as an Alpha title?
I mean, I guess they could. The issue is sprite-based modeling is actually super difficult.
It is. It's a lost
very
art.
expensive, and like you said, it's a lost art. And it's just there are just so few people that know how to do that now.
Hey, you pay me, I'll learn.
That's my motto. If you pay me, I'll learn.
I mean, there's got to be a call for it, right? There's got to be people that want it. I know that they do. There's people that want pixel art. So if these companies aren't saying, hey, okay, they want an Alpha 3, they'll pay for it. Let's make it. Then I don't know. I don't understand why it wouldn't be worth it to them. But
I just think that they're doing fine.
They don't need to. Yeah.
Street Fighter games, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, they're very good games. You know what I mean? So. There's no real impetus on Capcom's part to go back to Alpha. But I wish you would. I really do.
All right. Hear it out. Anre wants Alpha, numeric, Generation Z, Fighter, Alpha, whatever. I need a PS5. All right, let's make both of those happen. Ken, what's next for you?
My next game is Earthworm Jim.
Oh, man, I was going to say that.
So it's kind of a cheat, though, because I think it's supposed to happen. I don't know what system it's going to come out for. I follow Doug TenNapel, who's the creator, and it was stuck in kind of legal hell for quite a few years of who owned the rights to it. They reacquired the rights. to the game, so it is possible to happen now. But last I heard, they had some deal with Atari because Atari was launching some kind of new system. It was supposed to come out as an exclusive for that.
Okay.
As far as I know, that seems to be kind of vaporware. I don't know if it's actually going to come out. So the status of that game, again, I feel like is kind of up in the air. But I would love to see it if they stuck with the 2D style. I thought that game was hilarious. It's so freaking weird. But the music and the sound effects in it, I love that game. It felt like you're playing a weird comic book. So
I loved Earthworm Jim.
It felt like you were playing the TV show. I don't know if
yeah.
I mean, I have no idea which one came first because they came. I became aware of them both as a kid, obviously, at around the same time. But I mean, it really felt like just like playing the TV show.
I didn't know there was a TV show. That's
really,
crazy.
Earthworm Jim, Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, that was beautiful, and I'm sure it sounded exactly like the show. I don't if I did see it, I don't remember it.
That's why David does the theme song.
So I do the theme song.
I just sit back and smile.
But Earthworm Jim, man, I love that game. Man, I love the fish in the bowl on top of the body. Man, there was so many kooky, crazy moments that was so awesome about Earthworm Jim. And I was thinking back today upon games that I wanted to come back. Earthworm Jim came to my head. The only reason I didn't put it on my list and thought to bring it up was because I was like, you know what? That was a 2D art game, though. I don't know that next generation would benefit from it. But irregardless, that is a game I would love to see again. Yeah, for sure. I would love to see. And I don't know, you could probably do a 3D game about it, too.
Well, they did a 3D game, Earthworm Jim 3D, and it was really bad.
Okay.
Really bad.
It was in like the N64 era, and I think it was a lot of different people on that development team. So it wasn't a lot of the same crew. So if they do make a sequel, it will be kind of the old school, the OG Earthworm Jim team. So hopefully, if we see it, it'll be a similar quality of the original.
Now I wonder what was wrong with the 3D game. I mean, it wasn't just like Superman 64, right? It was Earthworm Jim. So like, were the mechanics just bad? I mean, he wasn't trying to fly or anything. It couldn't have been terrible.
No, I mean, I think it fell for a lot of like just the really clunky platformers. Like there were a lot during that era that came out. Like there was like Ty the Tasmanian Devil or something. There was Bubsy. It felt like Bubsy 3D. Like,
God.
It was kind of around that same time, and yeah, those games, they just tried to force them into 3D.
Yeah.
And I feel like a game like Mario and Nintendo, they put in the work to make that work in 3D because they knew their system was going to live and die on that game, so they better get it right.
Yeah.
So not everybody had that kind of resources to put into a game at that time.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, and I think also, to their credit, these companies probably needed to do the same thing too. They're like, hey, look, these games are going 3D. You have to. So and they just didn't have the people skilled enough to make it work, unfortunately. But I'm with you on that.
It's crazy. It's almost like with that new technology, everybody had to go 3D. But very few people were good at it. And it's like, if you just stayed 2D, you would have been better. It's like, why can't we have 2D games on our 3D system? Even Street Fighter. The Street Fighter EX games were okay, but like for Street Fighter games, they were not that good.
When you look at games that held up, like the original PS1 games, a lot of them don't hold up because they were forced to make them all 3D.
Right.
But like Nintendo games, those 2D games, some of those still kind of hold up today. You go back and like, hey, it still looks good compared to what you see today come out.
PlayStation, if you talk about the games that hold up on PlayStation, you're talking about fighting games and RPGs primarily.
They were 2D. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can only hope that an Earthworm Jim game makes it no matter what D it's in. All right, this one would be, I think this one would be my number one.
Okay.
And I don't know if either of you have ever played it. And I'd be really excited to talk to one of you if you have. It is an old PlayStation 2 game, I believe. PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, can't remember.
Bouncer.
It's a JRPG. It's fantastic. It's called Legend of Legaia. Have either of you played it?
I have not.
Never even heard of it.
This game was amazing. Oh my goodness. All right. Basically, you get this symbiote thing on your arm, okay, and it helps you fight. It gives you special abilities. One person's is red, and it gives them fire type stuff. But it talks as well. It's a part of you. And there's this mist stuff that comes, and it's attaching all of these evil symbiote things to normal creatures and changing them and whatnot. Man, the game was fantastic. One of the best RPGs I've ever played, and I've wanted more of that game. Even if they remade that game, I would love to. And I know they made a newer one after that, and I can't remember what console it was for. But it was Legaia something or other, but it was different. They had a weird, different kind of combo system. Anyway, the cool thing about the original was there was this combo system where you attacked, but you did up, up, left, down, right kind of stuff, like a fighting game. But you didn't have to do it as fast as a fighting game would, I guess. But you investigated and you made your own combos up by doing up, up, down, left, right, up, down. And then you'd be like, oh, that one works really good. I need to remember that one. So the game was fantastic. A lot of fun. I urge both of you to check it out. And whoever made that game, god damn it, make another one. Yeah, it's so good.
I'd be interested to know if they are still active, the developers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now while you talk about your next one, because, God, we got to...
Well, my next one, we're just going to stick with the fighting game motif, for me anyway, and go with Bloody Roar.
Ooh, Bloody Roar.
Yeah. So fucking fun. Bring
back the dinosaurs.
Yeah. How long's it been?
Bring back the dinosaurs and the beasts.
How long's it been?
The last Bloody Roar game I played was on PS2. I believe, like Shit. Bloody Roar 3. I think there was another one that came out later. I don't know if it was good or not. Maybe been on like 360. But like Bloody Roar, man, like that was so good. And for those that don't know, it's a fighting game where the hook is like you can transform into a beast version of yourself. But it's kind of cool because you have like two different movesets. You have moveset where you're a human, and then a moveset where you're a beast. There's like a lion, a wolf, half breed, just a whole bunch of animals and creatures, and it was very, very. It was a very good fighting game.
Bloody Roar was bloody brilliant for sure.
Bakaru, the mole, Shenlong.
The mole guy was my favorite, man. The mole.
Bakaru, yeah,
he was awesome. I love the mole dude.
He was a ninja.
Oh man, a blind ninja makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't need to see my victims in order to destroy
Was
him.
Bakaru blind? I don't even remember that.
Yeah. There's a moles are blind, bro.
Are they?
Yeah, moles are blind, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they can't see.
This is new information.
Yeah, man. Really? Our moles.
Was Bakaru himself blind?
He had to have been. Okay, moles aren't blind, but they are colorblind and they see very poorly.
Right.
Oh, all right. That's a lot.
They can only
excited.
They can only see light and movement. But if you ask me, I call that blind because that's pretty much me without contacts in, man. And I call that shit blind. So yes, dude was blind. All right.
Anyway. Yeah. So anyway, Bakaru not blind, but still very dope.
Oh, pretty blind.
Yeah.
Very much so blind. Very much so a blind ninja. Okay, Bloody Roar. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Very, very, very. Yeah. And these, I can't wait until we get like the first great next gen fighting game, or if DBFZ wants to, make a PS5 update, so we can get rid of these loading times. Like, I love the song DBFZ, I do. I love the heavy metal and everything you're going for, but like just to load games like that, I would love it. I would love it. And yeah, fighting games, PlayStation 5, let's do it. Let's bring back Bloody Roar and, Street Fighter Alpha 3, maybe DBFZ 2, I don't know, like whatever. Like let's get it going because we could play so many more games now that the loading times are so much faster.
I agree. Yeah.
It's perfect.
What do you think the next real quick before Ken goes? What's the next fighting? Are we gonna get like a new type of IP? I would like that. I think that would be really cool. Bloody Roar style. Mix Bloody Roar with Soul Calibur, man. Everyone's got a cool, unique weapon. It's theirs, and the weapon turns them into a weapon version of a monster that is like their weapon. I love it, dude. Let's get it. Who wants to make it? All right, Ken, what's up? What's next for you, man?
My next one, bring back Sam Fisher. I want Splinter Cell.
Sam Fisher, back. You're not
Splinter
alone.
Cell. I feel like it has to happen. Ubisoft is, but they keep teasing it. They add Sam Fisher as like a playable, or they'll add some kind of hint or Easter egg about Splinter Cell in their other titles, and I have to believe it's happening.
Wasn't he in Fortnite or something? He went to something.
Something, yeah, Fortnite, and then some of the other Ubi games they just add him in as another character.
You know why they do that, right? To torture you guys.
Yeah, it is.
They think it's funny.
Pull it away. I have a feeling we'll see it. I just do. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year, but it's like it's got to be sometime in. Yeah, well, I got to keep dreaming.
Hey man, I can't remember which Splinter Cell it was, but I thought the multiplayer was so intuitive, and I want it back again. And it was mercenary. There was 2 people played as mercenaries, 2 people played as spies, right?
Spies, yeah.
And it was so awesome, man, because the mercenaries were first-person view. Chaos Theory might have been.
Yeah.
And man, it was so cool. Yeah. As the spies, man, you could like shoot them with a little microphone, and you could hear what they're saying to each other, and they can't hear you, and you're like, I don't know where they're going. Man, that game was too cool. Bring that shit back. But you know what? I can't wait for Sam Fisher. I want more Splinter Cell 2, Ken. But you know what? I keep hearing people complain about this, and you know what I say? He's doing what he does best. Yeah. He's being stealthy.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
Oh man,
I don't know. Hopefully he comes out. Hopefully he comes out for the kill soon, man. But we'll just have to keep. What's that?
Yeah.
I know where you were going.
I know. I could tell, and so I was like, okay, I've got to give it to them. Wow, this is woo. Okay,
I feel like that'd be a great next gen title too. I feel like because in the old games, they had like the long load times. There's just
Xbox would do well.
Couldn't do.
To make a game that people want. It could be Splinter Cell. It could be Splinter Cell. It's not. It's not even hate. I don't even know what's going on.
It'd be nice. It would be nice.
Anyway, okay. All right. Jak 5. I need a Jak 5. It's been what? 2004 was the last Jak game, or was it Jak 3? Can't remember. I need a new Jak game, man. It's been forever.
I think 3 was.
It's 3, man. 3 was so good too. It was like Grand Theft Auto. She was awesome, man.
That was, Naughty Dog, right? The Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Which is why you'll never see
another
Jak and Daxter game.
No, they finished Last of Us Part 2. What else are they doing?
They brought Ratchet and Clank back, right?
Well, they're remaking Last of Us Part 2, or they're remaking Last of Us.
It doesn't need a remake.
Remastered. Yeah, they remastered it for PS4, and now they're going to remake it.
Now they're going to remake it.
That's
now
fine.
Look, I think it's one of the top 3 greatest games of all time, the original Last of Us game. But like,
it's good.
A remake after you remastered, guys, just chill. But at the same time, I'm going to play it again. So I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. So hard for me to stand on my high horse and tell you what to do when I'm going to give you more money.
Well, I think the rumor behind that is that they're making a TV show for Last of Us, and that the remake will kind of it'll kind of take the likenesses of the actors to kind of bring it more in line with the show.
I think the show should get actors that look like the game.
I hadn't heard that. I heard that they want to release this so more engagement of the people that watch the show. Oh, here's the new game. Right. People that play the game. I like this game. Oh, there's a show out. But I hadn't heard the part where they want to make the actors look like more.
That's interesting if that's the case.
Characters. Yeah. If that's the case, that's terrible. Sony, do not do that. I'm telling you right now, to your face, do not do that. Just make Joel and Ellie, but better. Just make the graphics better, make the gameplay like The Last of Us Part 2. Some of the greatest gameplay of all time. Does not get enough credit. I was looking at like a topic on some website the other day. It's like, what's the best stealth game ever? And people were talking about your boy Sam. We were talking about, my boy Solid Snake. And a lot of people, they were like, hey, you got to throw The Last of Us Part 2 in there if you're talking about great stealth mechanics. You really do.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, do not go in there trying to like model Pedro Pascal or whatever. Like, don't do that.
Goodness. Yeah.
I'm telling you right now to your face, don't do that. It's not going to end well.
I just see what else they can do because it still kind of holds up. Like if you play the remaster, I played it pretty recently. I played it last year just because I hadn't beat it, and I'm like, I need to go back through and replay Last of Us. And yeah, it's a great game. Felt totally up to date. It didn't feel like it needed something. Like there wasn't anything I felt like was missing. And like I don't remember even the load times being that bad. I felt like it was.
No.
It felt like a very modern game, even though it was a PS3 game. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
Yeah.
They don't need to remake it, but since they are, you might as well do it right. Do it correctly. Don't make some sort of.
I mean, is that confirmed? Are they really? They are remaking it?
That's not.
No, they are remaking it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in the Jason Schreier article.
Yeah.
Where he was talking about the Sony only wants to make big, huge games, which I don't agree with, judging by what's coming out. But again, but yeah, they had a team. I think was it Ben was working on it, and then Naughty Dog was like, screw it, we'll do it ourselves. So I think they're just gonna remake that game. But yeah, Naughty Dog is basically the flagship developer for Sony. I mean, they could let another team make a Jack 4 or whatever. They have the rights. They could say, all right, we'll let Bluepoint do this or whoever, They did a great job with Demon Souls. That's a remake, so they could make a kind of like a Ratchet and Clank style remake, where it's a remake, but it's also new and it could set up a new game. They could do that, or they could do what I think they're going to do, which is nothing.
Probably.
With Jack.
Unfortunately, because we need one.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. I think there'll be another Uncharted game before Jack. And, I'm interested to see what they do next. I think it'll be something new. I think they want to go forward and not necessarily back.
I'd be fine with a Daxter game.
Daxter. I like it.
All right, so I got one left. Do you guys have any more?
I got one.
Okay, well, what about you?
Uno.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the circle again. So go ahead, Anre, then we'll go Ken, then I'll finish up. Go ahead.
I was going to talk about this later, but might as well bring it in here. Final Fantasy Type 1. This game is not. Look. Final Fantasy Type 0 came out for the PSP. Then it came out, again for the PS4. It's just an amazing game. Give us a sequel. That's all I'm saying. Give us a sequel. Make Final Fantasy Type 1. Build it from the ground up for the PS5. Put it out. And you will sell. So you will sell millions of copies.
Okay.
All right? Just do it, because Final Fantasy Type 0 is underrated, and the reason it's underrated is because not that many people played it. The people that played it,
but you will sell millions of copies.
You will sell millions. I guarantee. I mean, Type 0 probably sold millions. Not 10.
Is that Final Fantasy game you tried to get me to play and then I just didn't?
Yeah.
Even though I love Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's
the one.
I
wonder what happened.
That's the exact one.
I don't. Yes,
my boy
we need
Ace,
this Type 1 game. The class of 99 or 2000
8,
0.
7.
All right, Ken, what do you got? Ken, we're gonna get away from this talk here.
I'm kind of going in the same vein as you going with the Banjo-Kazooie. I think Conker's Bad Fur Day needs to be brought back. Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was such a good game, and it released at the worst time because it came out like at the very end of the N64 era. like no one was interested in Nintendo games like at that time because they were just moving on to the next system, and they didn't know how to market that game because it was a very like kiddie style game that was very not kid friendly.
Yeah.
It was a hard M-rated game, and it was hilarious. Like the stuff they did with it. I mean, they had cursing, they had blood, just weird stuff in the game. They had like a level that was like Alien. They had a level that was like, it was like either Band of Brothers or I don't know, it was like a World War II level that was just incredible. Like you had these guys getting shot, their heads blown off next to you.
Man, I've heard great things about Conkers. I never played it. Unfortunately, because I've heard some great things. So
right, and it was at the heyday of Rare. I think it was probably their most, at that time, the most technically polished like 3D platformer because it was really well done. The camera worked really well on it at the time. If you play it now, it'll probably feel really dated. You can still play it if you're on Xbox because they did a remaster of it on the OG Xbox. Okay. It was called Conquer Reloaded, and you can still play it on modern Xbox systems. So there's still a way to get it. It's only like $10, but it's a cool game. It was really fun and really funny, and I think it'd be worth giving it another shot.
Ken, I would love to. I would love to play Conkers. I would love to. I'm gonna tell you what, Ken. I'm not buying Xbox shit until I get Sam Fisher. All right, you gotta. This is something we've debated upon for a long time. You keep giving them money, they're gonna keep giving you nothing. You stop giving them money, they're gonna give you what you want, right?
But Ubisoft, you know, they're the ones that are gonna give you Sam Fisher. Microsoft doesn't have anything to do with that.
Right. It'll be multi-platform. Yeah, they bring back.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Unless Microsoft gives them money.
All right, old school Xbox. If I can find one of you for like $20, I'll buy you, and I will get Conker's Bad for a day. Awesome. All right.
Yeah, good deal. $20. Good deal.
Last but not least, it's similar to Dino Crisis. Have you played this game? Parasite Eve.
Ooh, yeah, that's an old PS1. Yeah.
Said, Legend of Lagua or whatever.
Legend of Lagaya? Lagua. You're a Lagua. No, Legend of Lagaya was fantastic. Man, you need to play Legend of Lagaya. Yeah. But Parasite Eve was fantastic. That was a great game, and I'd love to see another one of those. Same type of deal. Square Enix made it. Resident Evil type game. Horror, survival. Cool. Check it out. Yeah, make another one. All right. That being said, I just want to give a reminder out there. If everyone's enjoying the show, you can head over to patreon.com/CrownKingMedia and start supporting us for just $1 a month, which gets you a Patreon exclusive show dubbed The Roundtable, where we pick a game to discuss in great detail while also providing our insight to what can make it much better or far, far worse. I also wanted to mention to our audio-only listeners out there that we do have YouTube content where the show is uploaded with our ugly mugs. And we also have another segment called The Observatory, where we pick a game and we play it for a while. And we try to be funny and stuff, so come check it out. Time to talk some industry news. According to Games Chronicle, PS5 is estimated to have doubled Xbox Series XS sales during Q1 2021. Research also suggests Nintendo Switch sold twice as many units as the PS5. PlayStation 5 reportedly outsold Xbox Series X by more than 2-1 during the first 3 months of 2021, while Nintendo Switch outsold both of its rivals combined. What do you think of this? That's crazy.
Switch they're all selling as many as they can make, right?
Like, yeah, that's true.
You don't see any of these things out on the shelves. That's a question for it.
So it's not that impressive for the Nintendo Switch, is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, Nintendo, it's impressive that it's selling this much this late in its life cycle. It's not, it's not super old, but it's not super new either.
Yeah.
I think the PS5 is definitely selling as many as they can make. They're making them, and they're in the factory being like compiled, and they're already spoken for, or like at the beginning, early stages of their life. The fact that the PS5 is selling 2-1 with Microsoft already is
I don't know
impressive.
who. I don't know who.
They're just selling twice as many. You know, a lot of people.
Not me. Okay. Yeah.
They're just selling twice as many as Xbox, and I do think that is impressive because I do think it is. It's not. I don't think you can just walk in the store and get an Xbox Series X.
No,
but you can probably walk in the store and get an Xbox Series S, and it is way easier to get an Xbox Series X than it is the PS5 right now. It is. It is easier. You know, you don't have to be in the game like you do with the PS5. That has to be your life, man. If you try to get the PS5, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The thing is, Sony is like it's almost like a half celebration because they're like, yeah, it's sold more than the PS4 has at the same time. So it's like it's clear that more people want to buy the PS5 than wanted to buy the PS4. The PS4 was a very popular console, but there's no way to actually know how many they would sell if they had enough to actually keep selling them. That's the crazy thing. You know, I think Xbox is selling as much as they can. There's no way to know how many, you know, PS5s could be sold right now. And it's just unfortunate that they have these chip shortages. Because if it were up to Sony, you'd have one, everybody would have one, and then everybody,
by golly, everyone would be having fun.
Second wave, the third wave, they would just, you know, and it's just it's unfortunate that
it's a crying shame
and unfortunate at the same time.
Are they comparing numbers of like Series X to PS5, or are they combining Series S and X?
They're combining X and S.
Okay.
And they're combining PS5 SKUs
and digital
stand.
Okay. Yeah, because
that's pretty impressive.
I looked for a Series
Xbox
S kind of casually and still wasn't able to get one. But,
oh, really?
Yeah. Because for my son, I thought he's more of an Xbox kid. He likes the Xbox more. He doesn't very much. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm trying to raise him right, but
can only do so much. Can only lead the horse to water. He's the one that has to drink. Drink the Mario Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the S it's not a bad system. Like really, especially for a kid. It's like he doesn't have a 4K TV or anything. They've got a little, 1080p in their game room.
Especially if you want to just play old games with Game Pass or whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
Compatibility. It's very good for that.
He's all into Minecraft. On Minecraft, you don't need 4K for that, man.
No, not at all.
Although they do have 4K Minecraft.
With ray tracing on PC,
yeah, ray tracing. They really do. I don't know what they're doing. I'm like, you guys got blocks out here.
They're gearing up for something, man. They've got that with the HoloLens thing going on where you can build with your hands.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gearing up for some crazy shit we're not aware of yet. I don't know. But yeah, that's still impressive, and I'm happy to hear that about the Switch. But it makes me wonder: is it's like, okay, you walk into the store, maybe Grandma's like, hey, I want one of those new PS5s, and they're like, no, I don't have one of those. We don't have that. What about the Xbox X Series S? No, man, you're funny. Well, how about that Nintendo Switch thing that I've been hearing so much about, then? And yeah, we got plenty of those, lady. Here, buy 5 of them. I wonder if it's one of those situations. I could be wrong, but
it's ironic because Nintendo has a well-documented strategy of limiting supply on purpose.
Driving demand.
Yeah, so they can drive demand up. And now Sony and Microsoft are literally having, supply constraints.
Yep.
Definitely not on purpose. And Nintendo is, I think it'd be selling well anyway, but no, I definitely agree. I don't know about the grandma scenario.
It was just for the fun for the folks, man.
The most unbelievable part about that is the grandma actually saying the word Xbox Series X. There's no way she's saying that ridiculous ass name. But yeah, I do think that there are people that like, hey, I want a new console. I can't get one. I can get a Switch. I was going to get a Switch later anyway. I'll get a Switch now.
I love my Switch. I love my Switch.
A lot of people had a Wii and a PS3 or a Wii and an Xbox 360. And I know a lot of people will probably have a Wii and a PS5 or a Wii and an Xbox Series X or S.
Or you're David and you just have a Switch.
And with the Switch, a lot of households have multiple Switches because, like, you got multiple kids in the house.
That's true.
They're all going to have their own so they can play together. So
That's true.
They kind of have that thing that they had with the DS and 3DS. It's like all the kids had to have their own.
Yeah.
And that's going to inflate their sales.
Yeah. Especially with the light coming out, right? That it can't be docked, but it's perfect for your kids. Yep. Right? I thought about it. I've got my Switch, got it docked. What if, my kid gets, by then it's going to be the Nintendo Switch 3 Pro or whatever, right? But I thought about it, and I was like, okay, would I get him a regular Nintendo Switch, or would I just get him a light right now? He'd probably be happy with a light, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
The thing's so cool that it can just dock into your TV and then play might as well just get the regular one. I don't know. But, yeah, but the people are buying the lights. I've spoken to friends of mine that are like, I don't really care to plug it into my TV. I want the light. I just want that old school kind of Game Boy experience, and I just want to play it in a handheld form all the time. Cool. More power to you. But people are buying them. So just like you said, you need more than one. You need more than one Switch in your house. No reason not to have more than one, especially if you have a big or even just a small family. So I agree with you. All right, well, moving on. The Video Game Chronicle also states that Square Enix is working on a new PlayStation 5 exclusive Final Fantasy game, and it is likely to reveal it at E3 next month. Square Enix was recently confirmed to be a participant of June's all-digital E3 2021 event, and on Friday, Navtra said the company would be gearing up to reveal a new PS5 entry in its long-running RPG series. Quote, I believe you can expect at least one more major Final Fantasy announcement in addition to the updates on the currently announced stuff, quote, end quote, they wrote. It should be a good E3 season for Square overall. So this is interesting to me because I thought E3 was done.
No, it's back and better than ever. Well,
is it?
Probably worse than ever, actually. Sony's not going to be there. A lot of companies aren't going to be there, but Square Enix will. And this rumor suggests, so full disclosure, I saw this, and I don't take rumors, I take them with a grain of salt, as everyone knows that you should. But this particular leaker has been extremely right in the past when it comes to Square Enix leaks, rumors, properties, or whatever. He's got a very high hit rate. So it is a very, very reliable source when it comes to Square Enix maneuvers. So I'm inclined to believe this. The interesting thing is Sony's not going to be at E3, but Square Enix will, and this suggests that this is going to be a Final Fantasy title that is, not just a remaster or remake or anything, but not on the same level as a Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy Remake 2.
So Type 1.
Yeah. So I would love
it.
Is
it Type 1, Anre? No, okay.
I doubt it, but I would love it if it were Type 1. I don't know what else it could what it could be. But I mean, Final Fantasy obviously has a lot of. You could do a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster or something, or a remake. You could do a lot of stuff with the Final Fantasy, brand. But it's very exciting. Square Enix and Sony have really kind of have a real strong partnership right now. PS4 and 5 are still the only place to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that's huge, Yeah. Again, we talked in the past about Sony getting all of these exclusive deals without having to actually buy these companies, and this is another
smart way to do it, yeah.
Another prime example of that. They're going to get a game for their system and no other system. Maybe PC later, maybe, but it's just it's exciting news. And I hope it's Type 1. I doubt it because, I can't have nice things, but I hope it is.
Can't have nice things. Oh man, well I love Final Fantasy. Always have, always will. So whatever they come out with, I don't know. I think Type 0 is like the only one I didn't play. And you wanted me to play it. And you gave it to me to play, and I just didn't. I don't know. What?
Would your PS4 Pro have died if you played Type 0? there's no way to actually know.
No, no way to tell. Do you think it would have saved my PS4? Is that what you're saying? If I would have played it, you're saying
it might have preemptively saved it. Yeah, it also might have done nothing because it's just the
ladies
game.
And gentlemen, Final Fantasy Type 0 has the power to destroy any virus on your PlayStation. It has the power to restore any degenerative circuit parts or electronic burns. It will save your system. Play Type 0 today. All right.
Class 0, I wouldn't put it past them.
Get out of here. Get out of the miracle.
Good work.
Okay. All right. Anyway. So, according to Screen Rant, I need your help here because for some reason I don't have the article and it'll mess up all our cameras if I do it, so I need someone else to open the article and tell me about it because according to Screen Rant, Arkham Mortal Kombat publisher WB Games is reportedly being something or something bought by AT&T or something or sold by AT&T or something. Who's got the article? Help me out.
Trying to bring it up here.
So, let's see. Screen Rant. See how much I want to say here. All right, yeah, this is fine. Batman Arkham and Mortal Kombat publisher Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment, best known as WB Games, will soon go through an odd transition, as it and its games will be split up as a result of a parent company merger. Owner AT&T has merged Warner Media with Discovery to create an all-new company, resulting in a lot of major entertainment pillars such as WB Games and their properties being shifted around. WB's gaming arm is reportedly being split up between AT&T and this new iteration of Warner Media, leaving several big studios and the game's fates currently unknown. End quote. So basically, last summer it was rumored that WB Games was for sale. People were talking about maybe Microsoft could buy it, and that nothing really came of that. But now the parent company is merging with Discovery, of all companies, to create something new. And it's the scuttlebutt, I guess, is that Warner Brother Games is going to be sold off as part of it. So there's a few.
Is this Shadow of Mordor? Is that WB Shadows of Mordor?
Yeah,
man.
It is. Wow. But that's a good point. So Shadow of Mordor is a licensed game. Batman Arkham series are licensed. The new Suicide Squad is obviously a licensed game. Mortal Kombat is a license. WB has a lot of licensed properties, and even if they're going to sell the studios. We know that. I don't know to who. They're going to sell the studios, but the licenses might not come over with them because the licenses are through other companies, like Mortal Kombat.
So these studios might be making radically different games,
or whatever.
Interesting.
I would imagine they'll try to keep the licenses, but it's not a guarantee. It's very interesting. We could have a scenario where Microsoft buys, the Arkham Rocksteady, the Arkham developer, and they get the license to make Batman games, because DC Comics, who I assume owns the gaming license to Batman, they're like, hey, we know Rocksteady, the actual developer, the people that make the game, we know you guys are good at making Arkham games. We know they have Arkham Knights.
I mean, they've been doing it.
Coming soon. They're in development. That's another interesting thing about this story is Arkham Knights and Rocksteady. Rocksteady's not making Arkham Knights.
They're making a Suicide Squad game.
So those two games are in active development.
Under WB Montreal. Yeah, Montreal's doing Gotham Knights.
Did they make Arkham Origins? Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, underrated. Yeah.
Your device is offline. To connect.
So
damn it, Alexa!
Hi, Alexa.
So, there's a lot of.
Yo, real quick. I have an Alexa in my kitchen. I'll be in my living. Okay. I'll be in the kitchen and I'll be like, Alexa, play this for me, and she won't hear me, and then I'll yell at her and she'll hear me. The other night, man, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm watching a movie, And this girl on the TV, and the TV isn't as loud as I am when I'm in the kitchen talking to Alexa. The girl on the TV says, Alexa, play this. And Alexa started playing that shit. My Alexa in my kitchen started playing that shit. Fucking insane. I know where your loyalties lie. I'm about to chuck that out the window. You go find that lady from that movie and you go live with her. All right? But anyway, sorry. Back to the show. All right.
It is just very interesting how this is going to play out because those two games are in active development. They both they look, Arkham Knights look good. I'm very interested in playing that.
I'm stoked to play that. Yeah.
When you get a PS5,
God, this is an all-time record. This episode, we've said it more than we've ever needed to. This episode, this is insane, and I think that's just to drive the point home. Yeah, I think it's just to drive the point home to Ken so he knows because everybody else knows. We've done it subtly. Yeah. Through each episode, and today we just did an onslaught. So next episode, I'm gonna sneak it in somewhere. I'd like to see if you notice.
We're gonna do an emergency pod when David gets a PS5.
This just in. The war has started in Europe. David has sieged the shores in order to get a PS5. Yeah, that's good. It's gonna be an emergency, all right. Goodness gracious. Okay. Anyway, this is exciting news because it's chaotic news, and chaos is exciting. I'd love to see what this is going to mean for everything.
No, chaos is the ladder.
Yeah. The question is, does Microsoft come in here to swoop in? Because they've been scooping up these studios left and right. And I don't know, it feels like they might still be hungry for something else. And yeah, like you're saying, these are some big-time developers that have made really successful games. I mean, it looks. I was looking through the list here. You got the Lego game series. Is that Traveler's Tales? Those are really successful. Yeah. NetherRealms with Mortal Kombat. Yeah, and Rocksteady is
huge.
So far, they haven't made a bad game. Like their stuff's been really good.
Yep.
Knock on wood, Ken.
Yeah. You never know. But the Harry Potter game coming out too from WB Games. And that looked amazing. That was one that leaked out. Like this video just kind of dropped out of nowhere, and it was from some study they were doing and for marketing. And somehow this footage came out, and this game looks awesome. And then it officially got announced, I think last year, and it's delayed now till I think 2022. But
yeah, I mean, talk about the freaking licenses, bro. How do you have Lord of the Rings licenses and Harry Potter licenses?
Right.
What are you doing over there, WB? How are you getting these? And I'm very excited. I'm not a huge pothead, as the listeners will know. But like David, he's a much bigger pothead. I just watched the movies, Harry Potter movies. But I saw that and I was immediately like, man, this is dope. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to pick a house and not on a little internet, test where you try 4 times to get
into a house
or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, actually go to a house, actually study magic and especially if there's different ways to play, which you would have to imagine there are, the possibilities are limitless for an open world, old school, back in the day, in the universe back in the day before Harry Potter.
Hey, I think this is perfect. This is exactly where the game needs to go. It doesn't need to be you playing as Harry Potter. It's all been done before. There's been a Lego game about it. There's been regular games about it. I don't need to play as Harry Potter. This is where the game needs to. This is where the franchise needs to go if it wants to be a video game and if it wants to be a serious contender in the video game space. Make your own character, your own wizard. You're going to lessons. It's kind of like Persona types of games like that where you're learning things and increasing the stats for your character when you're going on these missions where you're doing damage and having fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great. Like Anre said, if you didn't know, Ken, or if the listeners didn't know, I've loved Harry Potter since the first book came out. I've been reading them. I've read them multiple times. The books are insanely... Have you read the books?
I have.
Man, they're fantastic.
I read them to my daughter. It took us 3 years to get through them, but we did it. We read all of them.
And, it's been a long time, and I love them, and I probably read them all 5 times each. going back and reading them again. And it's been a while, and I don't have as much time to read as I'd like to. But I decided, hey, it's been a while since I heard these books. I miss them. Let me pop in the audiobook for them, right? And man, it's been fantastic. And I forgot how dark the books actually are, even in the first one. Like, I remember it grows, it gets more mature as each one goes on. But man, did I forget even just how dark the first one was. It's awesome. Harry Potter series, fantastic. Movies, okay. But this is where the game needs to go. So, yeah, this is cool news. I can't wait to see.
Okay, wow, that's tough.
Yeah,
they're
okay.
Yeah,
they're good.
So are all these games still coming out though? I feel like it's kind of, this throws a big wrench in it.
That's the thing. These games are in active development, and I think the most recent one is actually the Arkham Knights game that was supposed to come out in 2021. I don't believe it will. I think it got delayed. I think it's going to come out, or supposedly going to come out in like Q1 2022. But if the game is done, if they get sold off, but the license doesn't come with it, then they just won't be able to put out that game. And so you would hope that that's not going to be the case. These studios are still valuable. These teams are still valuable without the license, but they're much more valuable with the license.
Yeah,
but that's a separate deal. It's all very. It not only is it like a little complicated, but it's more complicated before it happens, because it hadn't actually happened yet. So we're still kind of speculating, but we do believe that this merger is going to happen, or is happening, and that they're going to sell off WB Games to someone. I hope it's not. That's another thing. If they sell it to Microsoft, then they'll probably make it exclusive, I would assume.
Yeah.
They got a murky history with exclusive, and it isn't. I don't know, but there's still people holding out hope for Starfield coming.
Man, you scare me when you say Microsoft, bro. You scare me when you say that name.
Yeah, but they could go to Google. They go to Amazon.
Stadia exclusive.
Yeah, it needs them. It needs them. Stadia's not dead. Hashtag Stadia's not dead. We know it's not.
Stadia is dead, but Google, I do not believe, is done in the gaming space. I think they could be a publisher, and I think if they just say, "Hey, we'll buy these licenses and these teams," that's a good way to start. They might have already started. I don't know. I don't know.
Money, yeah. That's the thing. Who else has that kind of cash laying around? I mean, Apple, I guess. If they wanted to get more into games.
Amazon,
yeah. But Microsoft seems
I'm already a pro member, and I think that if Amazon made games, I'd just get them for free.
Yeah.
we can hope. So Amazon, buy WB Games.
2-day shipping and free games. I think that's the deal.
I think, yeah. I'm down for it. So Amazon, purchase I know what purchases I need to make from you. Now you know what purchases you need to make for me. Thank you, Amazon. Good luck. Godspeed. All right. I want to give a quick tip of the crown to Overwatch 2. Got some good news, some gameplay on it. I'm a big Overwatch fan. It's been a long time since I played some. But seeing this new content actually has gotten me excited to play Overwatch 2, and I didn't think I was going to get it originally because I thought I had played my life's weight in gold in Overwatch and gotten tired of it. But no, I mean, Overwatch 2 is looking interesting. They made some cool changes. Matches are going to go to 5v5 instead of 6v6, so they're getting rid of one tank slot, and they're making the one tank beefier. So this has made gameplay a little different, more offensive and more aggressive, and it also gives the support classes less craziness to focus on, trying to spread heals and support between two tanks and DPS. The gameplay looks solid. They did a little teaser, and they played a match with the developers and whatnot. It was really interesting. It was really cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing more on Overwatch 2's PvP. Anyway, any tip of the crowns from you? You want to tip that crown, Anre?
None that I can think of.
Ken, anything light? Or tip of the crown for us is something light we don't want to talk all day about, but we want an honorable mention. Is there anything you got on the tip of your tongue?
Got nothing on the tip of the tongue right now.
All right. That being said, we're going to go into the new releases for next week. An Airport for Aliens, currently run by dogs. Barking, good time, that sounds like, right? That's crazy. Never heard of this game. Have you? Anyone? No. PC.
I just heard of it.
Okay, PC, Xbox Series X, May 25th. Biomutant. This one we are excited for. PC, PS4, Xbox One, May 25th. Now, THQ Nordic is not a company that's been high on my list of quality for some reason. Sorry, guys, but there's just a lot of their games. I'm like, okay, well, you're trying to be Dark Souls. It's probably a good game, but it's not Dark Souls, so I'm not going to play it. I don't know. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my problem. But this one looks unique and good, even higher standards than I've seen from THQ Nordic. Biomutant, you guys, what do you think?
I saw that the PS5 version is going to be kind of limited, though. It looks like it's only running at 1080p, so that might be one I wait on to see. Check out the reviews to see. It might need a couple patches.
Yeah, true.
Get ready for prime time.
Said that they ran into some issues and they'll have to get an update later. I'm like, oh, okay. Because
I'll wait for the update.
Xbox 4K 60, I believe. Xbox Series X. So, but here's the thing: I am interested in Biomutant, but I can't really wait. If this game is good, then it might come out at a perfect time.
Yeah.
Because Ratchet and Clank is coming out next month, and after Ratchet and Clank comes out, I'll be too busy playing Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. So you did a good job of scheduling your game here, but just get it to work normally on PS5 very quickly, please.
True.
You know?
I mean, maybe it's good I don't have a PS5, so screw you, Sony. I've got a high-end gaming PC, so, eat it. Anyway.
I mean,
what?
It's on PS4, too.
All right, I just finally got over my need for a PS5, all right? Don't try to bring me back. I don't, you know what? I don't need one. I'm not going to buy one now. I'm over it. I'm done. Yeah. I don't need your exclusives. I don't need your Ratchet and... You're rifting me apart. You're rifting me apart when I'm with you. But no matter... Okay. Capcom Arcade Stadium, PC, PS4, Xbox One, May 25th. Capcom Arcade. That sounds cool. You know anything about this, Anre? You're a Capcom dude. You're an arcade dude.
Capcom Arcade. Yeah. No. Don't. What is this game?
I don't know.
I like it.
King of Seas, PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, May 25th. Maneater, Switch, May 25th. Maneater was a game I really enjoyed on my PlayStation. Had a lot of fun being a shark, eating things, leveling up. So it was really cool. So if all you have is a Switch and you haven't had the chance to play this game yet, check it out. It was a lot of fun. Very, Very Valet coming to Switch May 25th. Not sure what that is, but it sounds like it could be like Moving Out or Overcooked. Maybe one of those games where you've got to work together to valet people's cars. So I don't know. Could be wrong. Could be very, very wrong about Very, Very Valet. We'll never know. Ambition, A Minuet in Power. PC, May 26th. Oddworld Collection, Switch, May 27th. Pathway Switch. Stop me. Any of you, stop me. If you want to talk about any of these, stop me. May 27th for Pathway Switch. 7 years from now, PC, Switch, May 28th. 7 years from now, it'll be on PS5 and I'll have a PS5. Roots of Pacha, PC, May 28th. Song of Horror, Complete Edition, PS4, Xbox One, I'm going to lose air here. May 28th. Wonder Boy, Asha and Monster World, PS4, Switch, May 28th. And last, certainly not least, World Ends Club, Switch, May 28th. Exciting. I can't wait to play at least one of these. I don't know.
Switch stuff.
Very excited about one of those games you mentioned.
All right. So on sale this week. Yeah, all right. On sale this week, ladies and gentlemen, on Steam, a couple of games I really am interested in. Outer Wilds was a really fun space exploration game, very unique. You'll never play anything like it. It was so cool. 40% off right now on Steam. And if you have any other console, play it on it because that's an amazing game. Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition, 80% off. We can't keep talking about how good Witcher 3 is. Check it out. Especially at 80% off. That's a deal. Epic Store is having the Epic Mega Sale right now until June 17th. There's some great discounts, and they're giving away coupons for extra money off, too. I got one, I think it was like $10 off a game that was $14.99 or more. So essentially that is a $5 game if I want it. And there's actually a couple there I might be interested in buying. So there's a lot of game on this list. You guys should just go check it out because there's way too many to list here. But a few of them include Kingdom Hearts 3, Star Renegades, Breath Edge, Curse of the Dead Gods, Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost Runner, and Watch Dogs Legion. So,
as a special bonus, your copy of Cyberpunk 2077 will actually work
on PC.
So
yes,
that's very good.
Yes, it's very important.
Yeah,
let's not tell them my story. Goodness. All right, Switch. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is 50% off. We did an observatory about this game. It was fantastic. One of the best Metroidvanias I've had the pleasure of playing. 50% off on Switch. Get it. That's all I can say. It's so good. Also, it's Combat the Summer Sale. Combat the heat this summer with up to 80%. This is funny. With up to 80% off select Warner Brothers games until June 1st. And this basically just means Mortal Kombat 11 and then just a shitload of Lego games. That's what the sale is, literally. It's Mortal Kombat and then a bunch of Lego games. Hilarious. Also on Switch, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is $9. No brainer. All right. Anything else? You guys have any sale items you want to bring? PlayStation, what do we got over there? Or are you just going to tell them to go look again?
Do we know the PS Plus games for June yet? That's coming up next week.
We haven't mentioned it.
Have not been revealed yet, actually. The one thing I do want to say is, first of all, yeah, you should go look. Just power it on. But
don't wait for me to tell you. There's a steal on there somewhere. Go look.
Sony has a Play at Home initiative right now. It's not a sale. They have their normal sales out there, but very interesting because what the Play at Home thing is it has about 9 games that it's giving you add-ons for free. So it's very interesting. It has Warframe add-ons, Brawlhalla add-ons, very good. You get some Rayman in there for free. Rocket League add-ons. I know a lot of people play Rocket League. I was banned for being too good.
Yeah,
but
listen to this guy.
The Rocket League game, then, free add-ons. NBA 2K21, MLB The Show, the new one, 21. These are just, packs and coins or whatever. Very, very, a lot of very good stuff here for free. Destruction All-Stars. If you actually like that game, if you enjoy playing it, then, you can get whatever currency they use. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't know how many times
I've ever played.
Andre, I don't know how many times I have to mention this. This isn't tell everybody everything that's on sale, man. Just is there something that you want people to buy because you think it's awesome, man? Come
Destruction
on.
All-Stars is good. It's a fun game though. It was a PS Plus game.
I have it because it's a Plus game. No, I do think the people should take a look at the Play at Home sale. Because it's just free in-game items for a lot of games.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? Because of your suggestion, I'm going to go look right now. I'm going to go right now to the PlayStation I don't have, and I'm going to look it up. All right. Well, that about sums it up for today's episode, everyone. If you enjoyed, please like, share, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cause
leave us reviews on iTunes. That's the thing your iTunes people do, right?
Yeah, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever, wherever you listen to us, tell people about us. 5 stars. Do you give 5 stars when you listen to a podcast? Do you give them 5 stars?
If I like it, I'll give them 5 stars. Yeah. If I don't like it, I don't do anything. I just stop listening.
Well, whether you like us or not, whether you rate us 5 stars or not, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because we may be crowned king, but everyone's royalty here. Everyone's royalty here. So, have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.